supporting the community when you support
definitely. We do contribute money to certain organizations who have come out and volunteered their time. And the same goes with our concessionaires for merchandise and food. They have those volunteers and they make a contribution to those organizations in this community.
It really is a community affair. That
It is.
We put Dayton on the, the Flyers, UD Flyers gave us national exposure
That's
with their
right.
run in the NCAA, and this air show does the same thing. And what does the air show do to put this show on the national stage? I mean, how do you promote it outside of this region, if at all?
We do a little bit. We have, the air show industry has an organization called ICAS, which is the International Council of Air Shows, and they produce, quarterly magazines, and they really try to help promote the shows and the performers. We also have a different organization called the Indy Transponder, and they're specifically for air shows, and they just kind of do promotions within the air show industry.
What would you like to do more to make this show? You say it's one of the top shows in the country. First, how do you qualify that?
There's really no qualification. The president of ICAS, John Cudahy, has basically said, we are definitely within the top 3 of the air shows based on, kind of what their feedback has been and based on, seating, hospitality, those sorts of things.
And 2, how would you like to promote this in the future that we do become the #1 air show in America? What would you like to do? I know I'm putting you on the spot. But you obviously would like to have the money to advertise it more in various places.
Right.
But that's tough.
That's
tough.
It is.
The air show squeaks by from year to year, because of various things and attendance, weather, or things that are out of your control. I mean, what are you going to do? So I think you guys do a great job of what you have to work with. So.
Well, and isn't this the 40th?
This is our 40th year, and out of those 40 years, it's consecutive, so we have never taken a year off, which is very hard to say for most air shows because of what had happened last year. Many of them canceled with sequestration being in place.
Maybe one of the things that we can do to make this maybe one of the top shows is more interaction with pilots and things like that, getting into the pits. So how do we get the public close to those pilots?
We actually implemented last year a performer pit row, and it worked out extremely well. Even the crowd obviously loved it, and the performers loved it as well, whereas we pulled in their performing aircraft inside of the show grounds, and the pilots stood beside their aircraft for however long they felt they could do, and they stood there and signed autographs, and they interacted with the crowds. So we are bringing that back again because it was an extremely popular thing that we had out here. So that's going to be one way that the crowd is able to interact with the pilots.
I'm always amazed at how those pilots always, doesn't matter how long they give you a great explanation, they really get into what they're doing, and it's so genuine on their behalf. They just have that love for the aviation and the show itself. So. Well, what is, I know these are kind of hard numbers, tangible numbers to come up with, but do you know what the economic impact is going to be this year for the air show?
Roughly, the economic impact is about a $3.2 million impact on the Dayton community. It's very hard to, get a feel for what the true impact is because there's not really a way to quantify it since we are an outdoor event. We're not inside of a stadium or inside of some sort of arena where you have, like specifically an X number of people and they, traveled this far. We do have surveys, and we do kind of know that most hotels are filled up and it's extremely hard to get a room. But it's roughly about a $3.2 million impact.
What do you, excuse me, what are we going to see this year that maybe we haven't seen in years past? Anything different? As far as vendors go, even?
There's not, at this point in time, we are working to get very, fun, interactive displays, but we won't know that until closer to the show. Right now, the main thing is our performers, and we are extremely fortunate, like I had said, to have military aircraft back, including the Blues and the Harrier and the Wings of Blue, which they have actually not been here since 1982.
One of the, as a reporter covering this air show for many years, one of the things that I've got from people is, well, we need to see more local air show acts, because we have a lot of air show acts that call Dayton home.
Right.
Is more being done to bring in more local?
We will be having the Right Bee back once again to fly in the feature show. We also will be bringing from Urbana. There's a B-25 Champagne gal there, and she is coming back once again as Static.
Okay.
Then we have the Black Hawk helicopter rides too that people can take.
Yes,
right?
Yes, we do have the
That's gonna
Huey
be out there.
helicopter rides, and they'll be back once again. It's an extremely popular thing for people to do, and it's kind of what one thing Dayton is known for is the Huey and Cobra rides that we do offer.
Do we actively try to get, once the air show's over, do we actively try to get that connection from the air show to our Dayton history locations, our aviation trail locations?
Yes, we all are partners. So we are a partner within NAHA, which is, the aviation heritage area. And we do try to become a community partner. But we are a self-sufficient nonprofit, and we only operate 2 days out of the year. So it's very hard for us to do much outside of those 2 days. But we do allow NAHA to have a display on the showgrounds, and it helps them interact with the children, and it helps them to teach children what flying is like and what aviation is really like.
I know a lot of folks like to see the acts come in, even some come in early, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Do you encourage that for people to come up and maybe sit there on Dixie and watch the flights come in? Or do you give them a time scale of when they might be coming in?
We aren't allowed really to release that information, but we don't mind if people do sit there and watch it, because, it means a show is coming.
Right. Yeah. It's exciting to see coming in.
Yeah, they start getting excited. I have friends that works nearby, and she'll call me and say, a plane's coming over.
Yeah.
The Blue Angels or whatever. So they were really excited to see them coming in to practice. So let's go over one more time who's going to be there, and dates and times of that, and then for more information about where they can get tickets.
Yep, the Dayton Air Show will be taking place on June 28 and 29 at the Dayton International Airport. The gates will open at the gates will open at 9 a.m. and they will close at 6 p.m. and flying's gonna start approximately around 11:30 and go until about 4 in the afternoon. If you want to purchase tickets, just visit our website, DaytonAirshow.com, or you can purchase general admission tickets starting on May 19th at area Kroger stores.
Okay.
Do you do any social media, kind of tweets during the show, or what do you people encourage?
Yes, we do. We do a lot on Facebook, and we do encourage, and we do post now as well to try and help promote the show and to build enthusiasm that, the Blue Angels are coming, that Sean's coming, that, the Marine Corps Harrier is coming.
Can people submit photos, some of their favorite photos?
Yes, we are in the works of trying to do a photo contest. So we are going to try and implement that on social media.
That will be cool.
She's kind of the newbie to this year, right? What's been some of your experiences so far, other than doing this show? How have you been fitting into the role as executive assistant?
Well, this is actually my third show in this position, so I feel like I've been here. I'm not a newbie anymore.
Well, you're very versed in what you're talking about. Here you can see the enthusiasm in your voice as well of an exciting air show that I just hope people will take advantage of again this year.
I think they will. So it's June 28th and 29th and at the Dayton Airport.
Right.
I'm looking forward to it every year.
What are you riding this year? Take any rides? Do you know yet?
I don't know yet.
Have to get with Sheila Wallace on that one.
I wonder, I don't think I'm going to be jumping out of a plane like I did last year.
How was that experience? Let's talk about you for a second.
That was out of this world. When I was asked, I was speechless. And I had to talk to my husband and my mother. Yeah. And
signing appropriate waivers.
With their permission. And I really was not nervous. The entire time we went through the process of suiting up, and and we videotaped it so we can show the community, hey, this is what it takes to jump. Because I know people that wants to do it and they're scared. And I was one that it was on a bucket list, like way down at the bottom. So when I had the opportunity, went through the process and we got on the plane and I was good. I was okay.
Fantastic.
And the only time I got a little scared was when we were getting ready to jump. And then after that, I was like, oh my God, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I laughed the entire time. And it was
Such
just,
joy.
Yeah.
Are there any opportunities for participation in this year's shows?
In regards to
Can they go up and do any flights or for pay?
no, we don't have that. We did have that last year with the B-29 Fifi, but we're not going to be doing a ride program this year.
Okay. Other than the helicopter, you can take a helicopter
Right,
ride. That's
right.
a thrill too. So.
Yes.
Well, gosh, I can't wait.
I know, I can't. So everyone, Dayton Air Show is going to be June 28th and 29th. You go to DaytonAirShow.com for more information. And Amy, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Dan, thank you for hanging out and doing another episode of Greater Dayton Live. And it's great to be here in Dayton.
And we're going to be doing more with DATV as the air show draws near, so looking forward
Yes.
to that. So.
Okay.
And you'll be seeing more of me, Amy, okay? And Melissa.
Yes, you will get tired of us after the air show. Okay, well, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.